Welcome, all you ghouls and goblins that are huge fans of the horror genre. This is the third episode of the Monster Squad podcast, and I'm joined by these two horror legends in their own right, Josh and Rob. We're here to talk about the new rendition of the Evil Dead franchise that just came out in theaters, Evil Dead Rise. If you haven't heard of it, then you should probably go and watch the trailer right now. Josh, would you like to take it away?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. So what can I say? The movie was a complete blast. I don't get scared or uncomfortable in horror films anymore because I've been so desensitized since watching since I was a kid. But this one actually got to me a little bit, dude. There was some great stuff in this movie. I think the opening is incredible. The one nitpick I did have with this, one out of the whole entire film, it opens up with you think it's the entity itself, and it's turns out to be a drone flying in the woods in this camp, lake, whatever, resort thing. The girl's possessed. There's some gnarly shit, man. She ripped some girl's scalp off. I was like,
that was so sick.
Right, dude? I was like,
Yeah.
They're not messing around this time. It was very dark, man. Okay, so she's possessed. She rips the girl's scalp off. She's on the dock with the guy drinking, and he's like, "What happened?" Of course, and leads to the guy falling in the water. I believe that gets pushed in or whatever, falls in. Dude, I'm sorry, but when that fucking head hit the dock, and I looked at him like, "Oh no!"
I noticed the same thing. Was one issue I had.
I was like, why is it doing that? I was just like, and then you have this great dude. She grabbed the drone blades and like cut her face like wide open. I was like, Jesus Christ. And they had the great opening credits of Evil Dead Rise, and like
that was so sick looking.
It was, right? It was like,
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they're telling us what we're in for, right? And what's the basic story of this? It's about two sisters who are disconnected. They meet up again. I believe it was Beth. Is that?
Yeah.
She's like the groupie. What they kept calling her in the movie? They kept calling her a groupie.
Yeah.
Beth.
Yeah, right. And then she's pregnant. She's going to be a mother, and the sister are going through problems. I'm not going to go through the whole storyline because these guys have to talk too. But like basic overall, they wake up the Evil Dead again, of course, and shit goes bad. I will say, I don't want to say every single scene because I want these guys to have a chance too. But like, I will say, me and Rob discussed this a little bit. The way they brought the dead back was pretty cool. The vinyl, rising, the waking up. I was like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, thank you. I'm sorry, dude, but like the book design was badass. But if they opened that fucking thing and read from it again, I was gonna get pissed.
Yeah,
it had teeth. Yeah. Yes, exactly, dude. It had fucking teeth. I'm like, don't do that. Like, very uncomfortable movie, man. It was dark. It was more sinister. It was the dialogue. Holy Christ,
dialogue was great.
There's some great gore effects. Like, I say, if you're an Evil Dead fan, I think you're gonna love it. I did. I think we're going to do a ranking of the new movies at the end of the video, but like I enjoyed the characters. The last thing I really do want to mention, because I don't want to spoil everything. I want these guys to have a chance too. Dude, when they all woke up in the hallway and screamed "Dead by Dawn," I lost my shit.
Yeah, that was awesome. I loved it.
I was like, my hand tensed up. I was like, oh shit. I was like, you better leave. But overall, man, the characters were great. I thought the kids were gonna fucking annoy me. They did not. I want a sequel somehow to this, man. I hope we get something else. I enjoyed every minute of it. The acting, the great lines. Mommy's with the maggots now. I'm like, fuck no. But yeah, man, like I enjoyed this overall. I had a great time. I've never been so uncomfortable in a horror movie in a long time. This is a day one purchase for me, man. Like, actually, technically it's a pre-order because Rob like showed me, and I'm like, yep. So I loved it, man. I'm dying to hear you guys' thoughts, man. I want to know what you guys thought. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. I loved it, dude. I instantly when we got the title card shown in the beginning, I was just like, this is gonna be nice, dude. Like this is gonna be so sick. Um, I like you, I thought the head thing looked really stupid.
Oh
That
Christ!
was
Yeah.
my only issue with the intro. Like that
Mhm.
was the only issue I had in the beginning. I thought the intro was better than the 2013 one.
Agree.
And I thought that one was awesome. But the opening to that, I was just like, yeah, this is sick. And then how you were saying where basically Danny stumbles upon the book after the earthquake. And did anyone else jump or get freaked out a little bit when the Jesus statue fell?
Oh
A little bit,
Christ!
yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
I
was
did not
startled.
expect that. I was like, something's gonna happen, but I didn't expect it to be a statue falling down. And the way it was filmed just looked so cool.
Mhm.
And then yeah, when Danny starts playing the records, dude, like that was cool because, like you said, I didn't want anybody to read from the book again, especially when there's teeth on the side of it. Like, come on, dude. Like, how many warning signs do you need? Like, I was like, please don't read from it. And then I'm glad they used it because at first I thought it was weird. I'm like, why are they showing her playing like records? Well, him playing records and stuff like this. Like, what is the point? Um, and then they played into it, and I was like, okay, I like that they're doing this. What else? When the records were being played and Ellie gets attacked in the elevator, I thought we were gonna have another rape scene with the with the vines and shit or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah, I
oh
was
my
really
god.
expecting that.
Yeah, I was like, here we go. I'm like, she's gonna get raped in the elevator now, but they didn't do that, which was good. Then we have I did like when Ellie got to the house, like she walks in with an apartment, and I know we saw it already on the trailer, and I think there was a scene on YouTube, but when she's like smashing all the eggs and stuff in the pan, and she's just, dude, the look of her was so sick looking too.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, oh my god, dude. And she starts crawling and puking. It just was like, that was the one thing too, was in the beginning, I feel like, not to backtrack too much, but it was like the movie starts off pretty good and then it's really slow. I understand though they had to do that to build the characters, and I'm really glad they did because I cared a lot for these people.
Yeah.
And I think the character development was really good. But once it picks up, it doesn't stop. Like it just keeps going, and I love that about it. I also like that. When Beth, her sister, takes her into the bed and like she's laying in the bed, and she's like talking to her, saying like, like I'm never gonna see you again, all this stuff, and the voicemail starts playing on the phone. That was creepy to me because you hear her voice talking and like she's laying there and you think she's dead. I mean, we know she's not because we've seen the trailers and stuff, but you're sitting there and you're hearing her voice, and then the fly flies on her eye,
That was
and then
disturbing.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
right, and then she blinks and just like looks over at her. And I'm like, oh my god, dude! Like that was just awesome. I loved it, and the tub scene. It sucks that like I love the mommies with the maggots now. Like I loved it, but it did suck that we've already seen it in the trailer. I know it was played out a
Right.
little
Yeah.
different. I think it was played out a little different though, right? Like the little girl wasn't in that scene like she was in the trailer.
I don't
That's
think
true.
so.
I don't think
Yeah.
she was. Yeah, I think someone else said it. I think it was our the middle child or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been played out a little bit different too than in the trailer. But dude, that was so cool. And then when she just starts attacking things. All right, so this was one of the other issues I had. I don't know if you guys are gonna agree with me or not. When Ellie starts attacking and she stabs her sister in the hand, and then her daughter tries to break it up. I believe her daughter's name is Bridget.
Yeah, it's Bridget.
Bridget, thank you. So she tries to break it up or whatever, and then Ellie goes to tattoo her. I really wanted to see her tattoo her eye. Am I a sick bastard for wanting that?
I mean, kinda.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't mean to be sick, but I was just like, I really thought we were gonna get that, dude. I was like, oh shit. And then like she licks her, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's an Evil Dead movie when someone licks someone. But like,
Right.
Yeah.
why couldn't I was like, all right, that was one little nitpick. It didn't ruin the movie, but if that was me writing it or directing it, I would have been like, we're gonna tattoo her eyeball. So yeah, that was one of them. That was but yeah, dude. And then like everything else. Oh, the other, speaking of eyeballs, when she's doing the whole eeny meeny miny mo.
Oh fuck, dude.
and then she friggin' eats the dude's eyeball and spits it in the other dude's mouth.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
that was cool. It was goofy, but it wasn't goofy, but it was. It had that Evil Dead touch to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, then that's what I liked. It wasn't as goofy as the Three Stooges and Ash getting slapped around by the skeleton. but it was good, man. I liked it. I was like, that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't know. There's so much more I'll touch upon, but if you guys want to jump in right now and your 2 cents on any of this, or if you have any other scenes you want to talk about, because I could keep going. I mean, there's so many other scenes in this movie that I really want to talk about. But if you guys bring it up, I'll jump in and say it.
I think the only nitpick I honestly had, I think was the head, but like I had a little bit with the slow thing that you said, that the after the great opening, but like you said, they had to build characters, so I understand that too. What else? What else did you say? Oh, okay. You know what? Nitpick number 3. I'm sorry, but what was that little girl's name? Was it Cass? The little one?
Cassie, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Cassie.
Dude, the whole peephole, and she's like, "Let mommy in." I'm like, are you dumb? Like,
Yeah, and she's all talking demonic too, like mommy and daddy. And then
like you saw her just like fuck up your own family. Like, are you gonna let her in the doorway? That was like a little bit like, oh my god, like please.
Yeah, she kind of got what she asked for when she started grabbing her and stuff when she opened the door.
Yeah, she's like, we're gonna be the best together. And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Speaking of the peephole scenes, though, all of those scenes were nice. Dude, I loved them. That was so cool the way they shot that. I didn't think I'd like it at first because I'm like, oh, please don't just show her outside the door the whole time. But the way they did it, like when she's attacking all the people in the hallway and like,
right.
She even comes up with her eye up against the people at one point.
Well, yeah, I think the last thing I want to say, because I want to hear what Jared has to say too, is that I don't know. I don't know if you guys noticed this little Easter egg, but I saw it. And the pizza boxes.
Yeah,
They dropped the Henrietta pizza. I was like, are you fucking serious?
I didn't even see that. Wow.
I noticed it. At first I noticed the chainsaw one.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
What the hell was it? I can't even think of the name off the top of my head right now. Here I am naming it, and I can't even think of it.
It was that company thing in the parking garage, right?
Yep. That's when I noticed it, and then I noticed the pizza thing, and then I was like, "Oh shit!" And then there's one more I noticed, but I'll wait. But yeah, Jared, what do you think so far? I feel like I'm taking over now.
I do too. I want to hear him.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with the both of you. The way that this is going, it's perfect because you're both passionate.
Yeah,
right.
You all three of us love the movie, so don't apologize. It's exactly what what this podcast needs. But as far as I go with Evil Dead Rise, when the trailer first got released, I didn't want to see it because I was like, okay, so here's another rendition of, oh well, this guy thinks that he can top Sam Raimi, and then later on they reveal that Raimi and Campbell are helping with it, so it's like, okay. But one of my biggest issues that I had, and you guys, talked about it a little bit, was how much they showed in the trailer.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but I've, with numerous films, whether it's horror or any other genre, they show so much in the trailer, and either all the key scenes are in the trailer, or they end up, there's other scenes, like better scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
And I think that Evil Dead Rise was able to knock it out of the park because, like I said, the trailer showed so many good scenes, but the movie itself, it was so much more.
Yeah.
And it's very rare, at least nowadays, that they don't give everything away in the trailer. As far as what I liked about the film, I did enjoy that. They gave you a little taste of it in the beginning, where they started off at a cabin, but it was a completely different style of a cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had the douchebag boyfriend that you're like, okay, well, I really hope that he gets killed.
Yeah.
Fair enough, we get that. And then I liked, like Rob was saying, how it started off slow because it backtracked a day, but they were able to explain everything, in a perfect, smooth transition as to why everything happened the way that it did.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with Josh that I thought the kids were going to annoy the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But then, I don't think I've ever seen any of the actors that played Danny, Bridget, or Cassie in anything else.
No,
They
no.
played their characters perfectly.
Yeah, they all did great. The little girl stood out the most to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but the whole movie, I was like, are they really going to kill the little girl? Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah, no one felt
Yeah.
safe. That's what I liked about this movie. No one felt safe. It did not feel like Scream at times. It did not feel like that. Like I was like, okay, someone could die. Like
The book, I do agree with Rob that I'm sorry, but how much more of a, warning do you need besides teeth that end up making you bleed just to open up the book? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely would have went down that hole and tried to find some money. So
I know. I was wondering that too.
Yeah.
I'm like, is there money down there? Like, I don't care about this damn book right now. Like,
True.
yeah.
but I did appreciate, that the they did, do that vinyl aspect because definitely changed the whole rendition of it. Because, in all the previous films, someone read it or it was recorded like in the first one. In this one, it was, you put it on the vinyl and it wouldn't let up.
Yep.
Yep.
Did anyone else notice real quick about the records being played? Did you notice the other Easter egg?
I don't think so. What do we got, Rob?
Yeah.
All right. So the whole time I was sitting there and I'm thinking like everyone else, and I'm like, damn, it kind of sucks. Like, I wonder if there's any references to Ash. Like, will he be in it? Well, I guess I didn't notice it right away, but then I started. I'm like, wait a second, that voice sounds familiar. Bruce Campbell actually is speaking when Beth plays one of the records.
Huh.
Really?
And I didn't realize it fully until I waited, and then when the credits shown, and then I went online, and when I was searching up shit on it, it said that, and I was like, I was right. I was like, I thought that was him, dude. So yeah, I don't know exactly when. I want to say when Beth's playing it. Yeah, it's Bruce's voice when he's talking about the priest and all that, and that's something I would like for them to explore, is maybe a prequel showing the priest having the Deadite possession stuff going on, because they touched upon that a little bit. So I'm wondering if like maybe we'll get that, and who knows. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. That was the other Easter egg I noticed though.
Oh wow, that's cool, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I enjoyed was, and I think, and we were talking about it the other day, was the cheese grater scene. Now,
Christ.
now I've seen that in films before, and they've overdone it so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And for once, it was actually what a cheese grater would do. It would just take off a little of your skin. It wouldn't do too much, but just enough that it would affect you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And with when Josh was saying about how they were saying "Dead by Dawn," I got so many goosebumps. I was like,
Same.
"Oh Jesus!" Like, all right, so they're not going to survive.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, I was like, "There's no way, dude." Like, yeah, that was so cool seeing that.
It was.
I did also like that. They did stay true to the boomstick and the chainsaw.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell our fans as to when each appear, but they do stay true to that.
Yeah, definitely did.
And then there is two other, I guess, horror references that I can remember. There's a reference to The Shining, which you guys know it, and
Beautiful.
I'm not going to say it.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Beautiful.
Looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then there's definitely a little reference to Resident Evil because,
Dude, that's what I was gonna say. I hope you say what I'm thinking.
Because that just what happens definitely gives off Resident Evil vibes.
Yeah,
but
big time.
This is where they succeeded and failed in 2013. In 2013, that remake, you could tell it was like Resident Evil eyes. It didn't look like Deadites. But in this, they did both. How they did it, that's beyond me. But it was very well done.
I agree.
The what was I gonna say? But like I said, as far as all of this goes, I did not think that I would love this film as much as I did. There wasn't one thing that I didn't like. I know that you guys were bothered by the CGI.
Yeah,
mean,
at times.
CGI I could really care less about, as long as that when she scalped her, that looked intense. I
That
like
looks
that.
sick.
That was good.
Yeah.
And then you guys were mentioning about the dialogue. The dialogue. I think my favorite dialogue was when she mentioned something about you titty suckers, and I'm like,
Oh my
did you
god.
really just say that right now? Like, but Beth was definitely badass because when you first meet her, you don't think that she has what it takes to protect her niece and nephew.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but she ends up doing it, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna end up going a little bit back, and Josh.
Yeah.
Now that we have reviewed it a little bit, where do you rank this with all the other ones? The TV show and the previous 4
Oh man.
films.
Oh man, good question. Dude, I might get so much shit for this, but like, I'm gonna be honest, I always am. So people know that I love the original series. Like, I've loved the movies. People know that listen to us that Rob loved the show more, which is cool. But for me personally, I can't believe I'm doing this. I would put this at the top for me. I was like blown away. This is one of my favorite Evil Dead movies, man. Like, I was blown away. I love the original series. I'll get into that, but like, this delivered. This is a horror film, man. Like, we can watch Scream and all that stuff, but like, I felt adrenaline, I felt fear, intensity. There was moments where like you said, man, you got goosebumps when you hear that Dead by Dawn shout. I did too. I was like, oh, they're fucked. But like, this would be my number one. I would go probably the remake. I would go Evil Dead, the OG, because I love the OG, man. It might be my number 3 right now, but like, it's an amazing film. It's a must watch. Evil Dead 2, the show, and last but not least, people are gonna think I hate Army of Darkness. I don't hate Army of Darkness. I don't. I don't think there's like a bad Evil Dead movie yet. I really don't. I think that you can watch all of these and have a good time. But that's my ranking, man.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think that out of everything that we've talked about the past couple days, and just even your review, I'm really curious on where you stand on this, Rob, because I don't know. You tend to surprise me sometimes.
Well, dude, I love this movie. Like, I mean, clearly from just saying all this, there's so many other scenes I could talk about that stood out to me. Now, it was very hard to pinpoint my number one with this franchise because, like you said, there's not been a bad movie. I mean, Army of Darkness, I have my issues with, but overall, like, this and Scream are the only 2 franchises I feel like that have been really consistent and like great with their sequels. So for me, it came down to like, what's my number one, and it became, it was either this or the 2013 one, and it was really tough for me to decide because I love all these films, but I put RiSE at number 1 just because I was close to changing it, but like, I love the intro to this compared to the 2013 one. I love the movie itself more than the other one. I think the characters were better developed. I didn't really care for anybody in the last one they did, except for Mia. I really didn't care for her brother, I guess, but like, this one made me care. Like, I felt like that little girl's gonna have PTSD, dude. Like, that she went through so much shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. I loved it though. Like, for me, the ending, I'm not gonna spoil it, but the ending of 2013 I like better than this one. I had a few at this one. We had a great ending, but I wasn't a fan of the Resident Evil thing as much. That won't talk about, but
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of that as much. But I love the blood raining at the end in 2013 still. But yeah, for me, my ranking goes Evil Dead Rise, Evil Dead 2013, TV show, Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead 1, and then Army of Darkness.
Cool.
That's where I'm standing with that. Yeah, because but it was very hard. Like I said, I loved this movie in 2013. They're very, very close.
Yep. Same.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Where am I going to go with my ranking? Well, for once, I think I'm actually going to agree with you guys. And
Whoa.
I live and breathe that remakes, either they are just as good as the original or they absolutely suck.
Mm.
Now, I don't know if you're going to consider this a remake because, there is no Ash. It's just a different way of going at it. However, this takes the cake.
Mhm.
Unlike the other ones, there wasn't anything I didn't like about it. Like you guys said, with all the movies that have come out recently and how much all three of us, we're just so numb to the feeling of being afraid. We've been watching these since we were kids.
Yeah.
The fact that
Yeah.
all three of us were actually in the theaters and we're like, what the ever living? That speaks volumes to me.
Mm-hmm.
So my ranking is gonna go Evil Dead Rise, then it's gonna be the original Evil Dead, and then Evil Dead 2013, Evil Dead 2, then the TV show, then Army of Darkness.
Nice, man.
Yeah, nice. I'm glad we can agree on Army of Darkness, Jared. I see so many rankings out there with that number one, and I'm like, how, dude? I don't know. I respect everybody's rank, but it's just I don't know.
Again, we don't hate Army of Darkness. We just have
Yeah, it's just
I don't hate it.
No, it's not terrible, but there's things in it I don't know.
There's way too much comedy for a horror movie.
Yeah,
that's what was my issue too, man. I thought it was funny as hell, but dude, this is not a horror movie. This is not.
No. I know I've seen some complaints of people saying this movie didn't feel like an Evil Dead movie. Do you guys agree or do you disagree?
I'm baffled though, because honestly, they put special Easter eggs in there, and there's certain things that. Oh my God, how did we forget this, dude? I don't want to it's not really come get some when she yells that shit. I was like, fuck yeah.
Again, the one-liners, dude, the dialogue was great, dude. There's so many in this movie that just jumped out to me.
I don't understand when I respect people's opinions, but I just don't get it, man. There was so many great things come get some, and Jared said, she's a fucking badass, man. She's like a woman Ash, and it's dude, I'm on this chick's side. I want to see a sequel. I want to see I think even Rob was telling me this. I don't know. I think it was you. They make a sequel to this, and somehow she meets Ash, and the next one somehow. That would be a badass team up thing.
I'd like her, Ash, and Mia. I'd like to see them all, just because Mia survives at the end, so that would have been cool to see. That, or I said the priest, show us a prequel to this one, and even I won't spoil anything, but the beginning of the movie happened. I know it's a day before all this shit went down. So,
oh, that's right.
There's still a Deadite out there. I mean,
yeah,
they could continue with that too. I mean, there's so many different things they could do.
It's so cool. It's a fun world to play in, man. They have this giant sandbox, and they can do whatever they want. That's the fun of it.
They haven't painted themselves in the corner at all yet.
Nope, not at all.
Did you guys think they utilized the apartment very well?
Yeah,
I agree.
I think we got pretty much everything we could have in that. From the elevator, that elevator scene was
Jesus.
I love it too.
I'm sorry, but I know the elevator was the only option, but why didn't you try the fire escape or something?
Yeah, I didn't think of that because they did check the staircase. I know the stairs were destroyed.
He's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't even think of that. So okay, maybe they didn't do everything they could have did. But yeah, dude. And classic Evil Dead. It reminded me of Evil Dead 2 was when in the hallway when her children are crying over her and then they just start laughing.
Oh yeah.
That was disturbing, man.
I was getting flashbacks of like the deer's head and shit and everything, just laughing and.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that's cool, dude. I like that. Yeah, I think Lee Cronin is perfect for this, dude. I really think he's. You can tell he's a student. Like he knows what he's doing, and I think they all did. Like I said, 2013. Can't remember the dude's name off the top of my head, but he did a great job. They all did good.
Yeah, that's right. I actually have a good question for both of you because like I was again, we don't get scared, but I was fucking disturbed watching this. There were certain scenes where I was like, Jesus fuck, dude, these people are fucked.
Oh yeah, dude, it gave me Conjuring vibes. That scene with the chick, I don't want to say the chick, the girl, Bridge, when they're talking on the record, it says, and they rose from the dead, and she's got the sheets over her head, and she's flying towards her. I was like, dude, it reminded me of The Conjuring. Like I was like, that's the thing to me. I can see, I guess, why some people may say it doesn't feel like an Evil Dead movie. It does to me because of everything that they added, but it's more like Exorcist on crack. I feel like it's like a Conjuring Exorcist type movie. But that's the thing. All these time, every Evil Dead movie's been a possession film,
right?
So I mean, I don't know why people complain. But one more thing I wanted to add that I wish they had done. All right, so without spoiling anything too much, there's a scene where Ellie picks up that Beth's pregnant, and she's like talks about two souls. I thought she was gonna dig into her stomach and.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I'm not saying I wanted that, but I think that would have been crazy. I knew they wouldn't do it fully because I'm like, there's no way they're gonna do that to an unborn child or a baby. They don't harm that, but like. I thought if they had added that, I was like, dude, that would have been even more insane.
Well, didn't she try to though? Like, wasn't there a scene like
I think she was? Yeah, she went to try, and then Cassie, the young daughter, threw her aunt the scissors.
That's right. Yeah.
But it would have been cool. Not cool, but I just was expecting her to start digging through her stomach or something, and yeah, like full body horror, just going insane.
Well, you said it perfectly too, though, dude. Like this movie, I didn't feel like anybody was fucking safe.
No, not at all. That's why I thought that. I'm like, dude, like this is crazy. And I got to give props to the woman. What's her name? In real life, I gotta look it up. The girl who plays Ellie.
Oh, the mother, right? She was phenomenal.
I thought she was amazing, dude. I've never seen her in anything else, and no, I mean. Not to mention she's hot, but she's even hot as a deadite, dude. I was like, dude, she is smoking hot right now. I don't care if she's screaming and trying to rip people's heads off. Rip my head off.
Dude, Rob, I was going to say, I'm like, Rob sitting at the door, like, jump through the screen, grab me.
Yeah, tell me. No. Yeah, Alyssa Sutherland. She did amazing, dude. She's probably my favorite deadite next to Henrietta and Mia. Like,
oh, cool, man. That's awesome.
That would be my top three. Like, amazing. I could go on. Like I said, I love this movie. I can't wait until we get this released. I think it's in July on Blu-ray.
I have a question for both of you. Like, where do you guys think this should go? Do you guys think it should continue where it ended? Where like, Mia's taking the chainsaw, like she's basically like preparing for battle for the future. It looks like. Do you think it could go that direction? Like, or Rob also said they could do a prequel with the priest talking, and it was interesting hearing that stuff too. Like the small taste we got of that world before.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I wonder if we could. There's so many avenues they could try. They could give us the prequel. They could continue it. They could continue it, like I said, with the deadite that's still alive from the beginning. Like, there's so many different ways to do this, and I think we're definitely going to get another sequel. I don't think we're going to have to wait 10 years for another one. I think we'll probably get another one within 2 to 3 years.
I'd like discussing it. So like, it was like 40 million this weekend. It did pretty good, man. It was pretty nice. They were happy with the numbers.
Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy. They deserve it though, dude. Like, it was a 10 out of 10 for me, man. Like that.
Same.
Yeah, I had, like I said, there was like 2 things I wish they had done and 1 issue. Other than that, dude, the movie was phenomenal. And
that's a good question for Jared too. Like, Jared, would you change anything, or what would you do something different?
No, I think the movie was done absolutely perfect. But I do have one question for the both of you.
Yeah.
So Rob mentioned that the director Lee Cronin did this perfect, and that he is exactly in the right mindset, to continue to do great Evil Dead franchise, continuations, right?
Right.
Okay. Now my question is, do you guys think that this film would have been as good as it was if Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell didn't help out?
Oh, that's a good
That's a good
question.
question.
Damn,
Yeah.
dude.
I don't know because I've never seen this guy's work before. I know he has another movie that he did.
Oh, man.
For the boy, is it The Boy in the Hole or something, or The Hole?
Yeah.
There's some other movie he did. Yeah, I want to see it. I don't know because I don't know how much input they had in it.
I mean, do you want to go first, Rob?
No, you can go, man. I'm just trying to think. I don't know. I'm gonna look up that movie just to make sure I said it.
Me too. I mean, honestly, I think I know he wrote the film, but I think they gave him like I did hear he was a fan of the films too. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they helped out. I think they gave him stuff to do that, gave him a little guideline, like they let him go. But I do think they helped. I don't think that because like I think Rob said the scene where like she spits out the eyeball, dude, that was so Evil Dead 2, man. It was a direct Easter like scene. That was beautiful. I think they did incorporate like stuff from the other films. Like that was what they were helping with. But God damn, that was a good question, Jared. Shit. I'm trying to think because like, can you imagine if they fucking didn't help and like it was a different movie? Like, holy hell! Like, I don't know, man. We were all in agreement. I think the film's perfect the way it is.
Honestly, and I don't mean to cut you off, Josh, but
No, you're cool, man.
the way that I see it is, I think that it still would have been as good as it was. I just don't think that, like the Easter eggs that we saw and the references, to The Shining, Resident Evil, even the previous Evil Dead films, I don't think they would have been placed as perfect. Like, they were able to smoothly go in, like it's just part of it all. I think if he had to do that by himself, it definitely wouldn't have gone as smoothly as it did.
I agree with that statement. I do.
I can see.
Yeah.
So, the movie's The Hole in the Ground. Sorry, I had to look at it. I didn't want to butcher the guy's first movie that he did in 2019.
But
yeah, I'm reading the what the like synopsis is, and it looks definitely interesting. So I think I'm gonna stand by the fact that it would still be creepy as hell. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, and one last thing before you chime in. How did we forget? I don't want to. See, there's so many damn good scenes in this, but how did we forget? How did we forget about Bridge eating the glass and swallowing it?
Oh, fucking!
That made me so uncomfortable, dude. I was like, "Oh my god!"
That was the scene I was asking. Remember, like, what was the scenes that made you uncomfortable? That was one of mine, dude. Like, I'm like, is it gonna go through her throat? I'm like, please don't. I was like, grasping my chair. I'm like, dude, please don't. Like, don't.
That might have got me more than the cheese grater did, to be honest.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable, dude. Like, no.
Yeah, but like, that's my last little scene I can think of. I think I covered we covered every scene pretty much in that movie.
Well,
yeah, you did.
Do any of you guys have any last things you would like to say about this phenomenal film that we watched this past weekend?
If no one's seen it, go and see it, because unless we just spoiled it for you, which I hope we didn't, but we'll make sure it says spoilers in the title. I don't know, dude. This movie is I recommend it. I think I can't wait to see it again.
I know, like, there's a lot of people that don't want to go to the theater because, like, people can be rude or disrespectful and, like, shut the hell up. But this is one of those event movies where you need to go experience this in a theater. You have to.
Even if you're alone in the theater and you're biased, it would be even creepier.
I don't know about you guys, your experience, but when I was with, like, 25 people, like, more than Scream 6 and 5. And, dude, people were, like, eating popcorn. I was watching the audience a little bit too, and like some guy like started gagging and stopped eating his popcorn. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna fucking like rock people's world.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had like 10 people maybe, including me and my nephew and his friend. They loved it. They were freaked out, and they're like 12 years old, so it probably scarred them a little bit.
Well, like, let's be honest, like we don't really get horror films anymore that actually like people like us, like there's millions of people like us that are not like scared by shit anymore because we've seen so many, we've been desensitized. And like, dude, this is a film that actually bothered me a little bit in certain scenes, and I forgot what that feeling felt like, and I was like, Jesus, I'm fucking uncomfortable. I was like, damn it, what's going on, man? And like Jared said it perfectly too. Like the whole, Dead by Dawn. My fucking hair stood up on my arms. I got goosebumps. I was like, oh my fucking god. I was like, you're not leaving. Like the whole film affected me in a positive way. I was blown away, man. This is a horror event that you must go to. You have to.
Yeah, it's definitely a must see. Even if you're not even a big fan of the franchise or know much about it, like this is a must see. It's probably going to be my horror movie of the year. Like, I mean, I don't know. There's still other movies coming out this year, and we're going to cover those. But
oh my god, Rob, I love you. I'm so happy you said this because if I was going to say this, I forgot. This is mine too. Like I know there's other films still coming. Mm-hmm. We have what? Exorcist. We have Insidious. I think Rob brought up Saw. But like, I'm not saying those films are going to be any less than what we saw. But like, this movie blew me away, man. Like, I don't think anything's going to touch this. We can still enjoy the other films that are coming out, but dude, they're not on the same level as this. This movie got in my skin, man. It got to me a little bit.
Yeah, serious. And the acting, like we've all touched on that. The acting was incredible. There really wasn't anybody that I was like, dude, come on. Like even the old dude in the fucking apartment complex was funny. I think he says to her once, "You stole my gun, you thieving cunt," or something like that. I'm like, Jesus, dude. Like even he had good dialogue.
That's a good point too. Like there was actually really good moments of comedy when it needed to be there. Like Jared said with the little girl, I thought she was fucked. I'm like, don't fucking kill her now. Like, please don't. And then like she's covered in blood. She's like, am I dead? My whole audience erupted. So yeah.
Well, as you all have heard from the horror legends, you can see how passionate they are. You guys can tune in every single Sunday night. We will be doing franchises. We'll be doing any type of movie, horror-related, thriller-related, anything that you want us to. Until you end up giving us, a wish list, we will be tuning in next Sunday, and we're going to be starting Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. We're going to do Psycho 1 and 2. Might have a little bit of the Bates Motel TV series. As you can tell, we have some people in this podcast that are very more passionate about certain projects than others. But I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed talking about it. So have a good night.